Hey everybody, welcome back to another Stone-Faced Reactions. I'm Theta, this is Lessons, and we're here with another episode of Macross 7. First off, though, we got a couple of comments. First, we have Rudy the Man from the episode Microcosmos, all the way back in SDF Macross. Not gonna lie, I was hoping they would exploit Xiao Pei Long and make the actual movie as a spin-off for this Macross.
I guess. I mean, it would be more like a featurette. I think it would be better like that, like a special or something. But I don't think it would be good for a full-on movie because unless you kind of recast Ikaru and Misa and others as characters in the movie, it wouldn't really work.
You know what
It
they
would be
should have
funny if they
done?
got recasted.
What they should have done is had the Dream episode after
Hmm. Hmm.
Xiao Pei Long gets released, and then you have your dream episode as all the characters in the movie Xiao Pei Long. That
Yeah.
way you could expand it into 20 minutes of actual narrative, but then have the characters so actually know what the story of Xiao Pei Long was.
Hmm. I mean, it's supposed to be billed as a standard kung fu action movie.
Yeah, but I mean, even those have a plot. All we know is that Kaifun can
Fight
throw
some giants,
fire from his hands. I can't remember. He has some,
lightning, like
yeah,
lightning and stuff like that.
some mystical power.
Yeah.
Up next, we have Warlord BK, also from the episode Microcosmos. About that transformation. By this point, why don't they have the danger and safe zones marked? How does Minmay almost fall, and they don't even bother to paint the edge with danger transformation zone or something like that? I'm sure at least a few of these citizens are civil engineers, considering how quickly they rebuilt the city inside of a giant ship.
Again, that is a function of how they were making the episodes originally. Like they were just going from one episode to the next, right? And that's problem with episodic television, right? You can really feel that they're like, this is one shot, we're just gonna do it and hoping for the best. Which you see in later episodes how it goes. Because when you go to the movie has they actually, when you go to do you remember Love, they actually do things that kind of make sense. Like, of course they want to, like, they strap down the cars, like literally cars
Some
have
of them.
parking spaces. Yeah, no, they do, because when they fly off, it's because those straps get hit and they fly off. They literally have parking zones for cars, so when there's a transformation, the cars don't fly away,
I guess you don't
and they have
remember
bright
because
lights.
specifically you brought up the parking strap thing
Yeah,
during the movie, and then you pointed out, oh, I guess those don't have any when they go
yeah,
flying off. So you're the one who indicated that not all cars have them.
yeah. But the fact that they go, like the stadium has a cover, and like they basically address those issues in Do You Remember Love? Like, because the original is like, yeah, we're just winging it. And even then, as you see it later on, the citizens and the city gets and every time it happens, it gets more modified. So they're kind of thinking about it, but not they never were fully developed that
From
before.
my point of
The end
view,
going.
it's a world building argument and not a show making argument. Not an
Yeah,
argument, a discussion, a world building
yeah.
discussion. Because even if they didn't want to pay anybody to reanimate scenes so they could use the backgrounds and everything, they could have just included like 2 or 3 words of dialogue. Quick, get in the safe zone. Something. Adding text, adding a couple of words of text wouldn't have taken away or cost anything more. Yep, those are our comments. Of course, I've got this whole Theta's Thoughts section written out, but first, how about you go ahead and tell us what happened last time?
Last time, in the episode Fold Out, uh, the Macross City section of Macross 7 got captured by the enemy, which I keep calling the enemy because we don't have a name for them
It's all in my notes
officially.
here. I keep calling them the enemy, too.
And there's an attempt to rescue the city from the fold, which fails because Basara again wants to sing to the enemy. They do this bizarre plan where they try to draw out the enemy mechs and soldiers away from the fold engine, and nearly works until Basara, they run out of time, and the only thing that Basara does is punch the
Well,
the controls, and that's it.
arguably, it's
Eh,
because Mylene can't operate the system because her mother is telling her, okay, do this, do this, do this. And then she just gives up and says, I can't do it. And that's when Basara punches the thing.
Well, Malene was trying to do it, but she was under such stress and there was so little time. Oh, and also we see Milia. I'm saying Miria because new show, new spelling. She climbs into her own Veritech, own Valkyrie, and kicks ass. We see Basara climbing into his VF-19 and doesn't do much. Except you don't throw one guy and punch the thing. That's
Well,
all that he
he
does.
shot the arm off of one of the mechs. The one that
Yeah,
was holding. Nope, sorry, never mind. That's
that was
Milia.
Milia. Milia, howling the car that had uh Mylene in it.
With no roof, by the way, so she's been
Mhm.
crushed immediately in her seat, head ripped off. That would have been a great scene. Just, zoom in on the car, Milia's head just cut between the door frame and the floor. Because, Milia's next words are, oh, I didn't know you were here. And so she just shot that arm for no reason.
Yeah, and not very concerned either, which shows a little bit of old Milia when she was tossing babies around.
Yeah. I mean, otherwise it was just a countdown episode.
Yeah, it was a count. Yeah, they were counting down to and like, don't do anything or we'll kill you all. Blah blah blah. You can't stop it. Blah blah blah. Which, if you really were that confident, you wouldn't say anything of that. It's like you don't say anything at all. You keep your mouth shut. The bad guys don't interfere. Oh, maybe we can interfere.
Well,
Although bad,
argument for it is remember that fear and terror raises spiritual levels. So,
yeah, but they were not collecting any at the moment, so it's a. They were telling people, yes, you can interfere. Please don't interfere.
sure. But I think you're making the Rick and Morty argument of, Scary Terry. You can't, you can run, but you can't hide. Why would he say that unless we could hide? Then they hide, But, yeah. I mean, anything else you want to add? Because I think that was basically the whole fucking
Yeah,
episode.
the episode was, aside from Milia kicking ass. Yeah, there wasn't much to add really.
All right. Well, going through this Theta
Oh no,
thought,
wait. We have what's her name? Fivas on a roof with a boombox.
doing nothing.
That was awesome. She
I
was
mean,
awesome,
to be fair, we had
but
Flower Girl standing in the woods with a boombox.
yeah, but you know how I feel about my Amazon, Centrati girl. Come on.
I think I'm thrown by it because I keep seeing too many side shots of her that aren't as
Yeah,
well drawn, where she turns
yeah,
into like a lanky goth girl, basically. When not all the time, sometimes she walks by and she's like big burly muscle mommy. But I don't like that
yeah.
saying that. I don't like that at all. Um, but yeah,
It
other
is true. She's
times,
a well. I don't know if she's a mommy yet, but she's definitely
well,
muscled.
other times she's just drawn sideways and she's got like no chin to her, and she's real
Yeah,
skinny and lanky.
proportion.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
So I just can't help but think about that every time I see her. It's
yeah.
really thrown me.
She's basically is a reject of like a DC comic book superhero or super villainous, like a side character, and they just put her here, like even with the cape and everything else,
I
because she has
mean,
like a half
it's
cape.
14 episodes, and I think she's talked in two of them.
Yeah, still,
All right. Well,
she's earned a very special place in
no,
my
no, I
heart.
know. She's what, first before Sarah and Apple? I don't know.
Yeah,
It just occurred to me that Michael running his head through the door frame was just a callback to Captain Global constantly bashing his head into the bridge's door frame.
yeah,
Well, you gotta think this whole series is just a lot of callbacks. Hey, remember Max? Hey, remember Fulmo? Hey, remember Milia? Hey, remember guys bashing their heads into door frames? Hey, you remember the YF-19? It is something that the infiltrator was able to kidnap Mylene. This guy that towers over most people that we've seen wearing a machine face mask and full on holographic sunglasses just walks into the ladies' room, smashes a mirror loudly, and then walks out with a woman over his shoulder into a restaurant full of people. They were also near to or on the top floor, meaning he either jumped out a window or carried her down to the ground floor that way. Gamblin might not have seen it from where he was sitting, And fair enough, he may not have heard the shattering of glass, but nobody heard or saw anything? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Also, also, what is the imagined scenario that alerted him that anything was up? We go right from the kidnapping to him holding Guvava and asking the cops if this was a kidnapping. Did he just sit at the table for forever and wait? Did someone else finally go into the bathroom, find our little space rat, scream, and Gamlin shows up running, only to recognize Guvava from the previous scene? It's the insanity of imagining what happened between the scene transitions that always gets to me.
Yeah. Eh. I mean, these two episodes, they start well in the idea, oh, hey, we're gonna kidnap the ship. That's good. And then how they go about it is just
I at least
good idea.
appreciate the setup that they've been kidnapping Fold officers from like
Yeah.
different sections of the ship. That's at least set up beforehand and it works with our knowledge of what they're up to. But then we go into a countdown episode, which is 8 hours of countdown, where the good guys do one thing,
Yeah.
on top of the hey, I found a rock. It's meaningless. I'm having doubts about Fulmo's intelligence. Max and Milia are going over all the people that have been kidnapped in the last week, discussing that it might be the enemy doing it and how it differs from their previous actions. When Fulmo cuts in and asks, could they be stealing the people themselves? Yes, Fulmo, that's what kidnapping is.
That might probably be a translation error, maybe. I don't know.
I look, we sat through all of SDF Macross. We know FOMO is a relic of the past, and they were pretty dumb back then. Let's see. 2 episodes back, Basara shot enemy mechs with speaker pods, just to tell them that he wouldn't be singing today. This is just a strange thing to do, almost seems like a waste of time, unless it is meant to imply something down the road, like that focus on the speaker pod that just sat inside of an enemy mech cockpit that one time. Like, why would he shoot them just to tell them not going to be singing?
I, I don't know.
It's all the speaker pods do is,
Yeah,
they
that's
let me hear you.
yeah, because they're not on the same radio frequency as he is.
Yeah, so literally shoots them just to say, not going to be using these.
Hmm.
So apparently our fold technology isn't as advanced as the enemies. Considering they fold in and out of their fleet location to be able to hit City 7, then also don't immediately understand why City 7 didn't fold all the way back to their fleet when they stole it, due to the fact that it can't fold that far in one go, which I guess is also the first indication that there is a distance limit on folding.
Probably.
Well, I mean, I understand that they're like from 500,000 years in the past, but apparently their fold tech is better than the Centrati.
Mm. I mean, it also depends how well the technology Centrati was kept and
Well,
what survived. You
I would
know.
have to assume since they don't build anything and then everything's automated, like the
Yeah.
factories and whatnot, that everything is
Yeah.
made to whatever the tech specs were back then,
If they didn't change them, then
which makes them better folding tech than the precursors or whatever we call, I can't remember, the original
protoculture. But we
protoculture.
don't know. Well, we don't know if the protoculture kept the best technology for themselves and give the soldiers whatever they thought they needed.
Sure. I mean, I guess that implies then that I'm sorry, I want to say Salvation Army, but that's not right.
Supervision army.
The Supervision Army might have better tech than the Centrati. But then again, I don't know because the Supervision Army, I don't know if the Supervision Army was designed to fight the Centrati or whatever the fuck they were all designed to fight, then why would they? Why would the Supervision Army be able to develop new technology and the Centrati weren't?
But we don't really know what the supervision. We know the supervision army has distinct technology because it looks more like the Macross, but that's about it.
Yeah, I mean, we know
We
that they have
don't
different
know
ship
more.
designs, but I mean, that doesn't really
Yeah,
imply anything.
yeah.
Alright. Macross 7 even changed Milia's middle name from Felina to Farina. Looks like they just did an R for L substitution.
Oh, I guess she go back to her own name now that she's divorced? Well, not officially divorced, so she's still genius though.
Yeah, she has to keep using it until they get rid of whatever is going on. The fold booster we saw in Macross Plus was apparently experimental, and they planned to incorporate it into the design of the YF-19 and YF-21, but didn't. 5 years later, none of our jets can fold still, and the fold booster is still experimental. More confusingly, Physia says they only have a 50% chance of working. We saw two boosters work in Macross Plus, as both Bowman and Dyson made it to Earth. Now Kinryu, Physia, and Gamlin all made it as well. So far, success rate is 100% on 5
Yeah,
uses.
but I think they said something about distance, but in other words, probably the distance between Eden and Earth and where the fleet was and where they needed to
Well,
go to that planet.
they didn't say it in this episode. I don't know if you're referring to Macross Plus, but this time they didn't say it. He just says it's only a 50% chance of working. Stop. Full stop.
I don't know. It could be an issue of distance, but
I mean, at least one person should have. I mean, maybe not. That's not how probability works. But you would think, on a layman's understanding of probability, that one person should have gone out of five
I think
people.
yeah, out of three,
No, no, five.
there were five. I thought there were three, only three.
I just told you Bowman and Dyson.
Oh yeah, but I don't think there's
Again, they
because
never
they don't say
mentioned
any.
distance.
No, no, but I also mean that the 50% chance was never mentioned in Macross Plus.
Right, right, but it's the same
So
booster. It's
yeah,
the same
that's
experimental booster. Well, I mean, I don't think it was 100% chance, and then they fucked it up and started producing 50% chance boosters. So, I mean, look, this is gonna be one of those where the commenters come out with a tech spec manual, and like I said, I'm not about that. They wanted that information; they should have put it in the show. Last comment here, not last status thought rather. Giggle has shown nothing but contempt for how Geppernick has used them so far, cursing them for using him as a distraction for spiritual sampling, and wanting nothing more than to just hunt and gather all the spirits of the city. Then, last episode, out of nowhere, he says he's looking forward to Geppernick's spiritual farm.
I mean, maybe he put it together that they're going to capture the whole city, so he can then terrorize people in the city, and it's like that's well, he's. I
Yeah.
guess his frustration is more they are not telling me what I need to know, therefore I'm going to do whatever the heck I want.
Well, I mean, again, it's more so that he just wants to harvest all the spiritual in City 7 the old way. He just wants to hunt
Yeah.
them all down and everything. And then, sudden turn face, he's like, nah, I can't wait for the spiritual farm thing. Just, complete change of character. I don't know. I think he's our Quamzim of the series.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Other than that, any final thoughts from you before we get into this?
I'm hoping this episode because this is the we got captured episode, similar to SDF1, but SDF1 was 2 episodes, and this one is now going to 3 episodes. I hope we go somewhere in this episode. We don't get another episode where they're still captured, and because if they're still captured and they get harvested, then that's it. Show's over, right? It doesn't make any sense unless now it's like, oh, forget all the people in that city. Now it's a completely military show. We're gonna deal with the military side, right?
I feel like it's more of a
Which cannot.
completion of the mystery sort of thing. Is once we get captured, we'll understand what they're up to, and then we'll have more interaction with the actual thread of the story.
Yeah, but if they don't escape, they don't get rescued,
Oh, they're gonna get
and they manage
rescued.
to.
We know what kind of show this is.
Eh, I mean, so far it's been stumbling.
I mean, it would be insane if this show ended with them all just fucking dead in space, like all in comas. I mean, I would love
Yeah,
it. That would be a so hard change of pace that,
I,
you come off of all the other Macross things and you're like, well, of course they're gonna win. They're playing it lighthearted. He's fucking strumming on the guitar constantly, and it ends with him just dead in space, floating in a coma, getting harvested.
yeah,
Oh, I mean, I
I
just love
guess
dark turns. Dark turns are amazing. I
if
mean,
it makes sense.
oh yeah, but I don't know. I'm just saying, I don't want it to happen. I think this we're gonna get rescued. Everyone's gonna come in. We're gonna get more information. This is gonna be the um. God, I keep on saying Mylene. We've had so many M named women in this show. Um, no, Commander
Misa,
Misa.
Misa,
This is gonna
Misa
be the
Ayase.
Misa drop the camera episode, probably. We're gonna find out
Yeah,
all the information. Not gonna have any evidence to bring it back with. I don't think they're gonna do the whole "we don't believe you" shit. No one's gonna
I
do that
mean,
at that point anymore.
probably Milia is involved in this episode. And this episode is called literally "Fighting Woman Mayor Milia." So if she tells her husband or ex-husband, "This is what's happening," he's gonna go, "Ah, you're just a woman. I don't believe you." You know?
Well, I mean, it's gonna probably be more her fighting for the defense of the city until, you
Yeah,
know, what we call Battle Bridge 7, Battle 7
yeah.
comes
Battle
around and
7.
everyone's rescued that way. Although I don't know, now they're two jumps past. Though the argument that I made for why the YF-21 and YF-19 were a bad idea, the whole jumping into a fight thing with the booster is that you don't have any way to jump back now. So all they can do is wait there, fighting Giggle. Giggle's still better name than Captain Global, by the way. Fighting Giggle until Battle 7 shows up with, I guess, the entire fleet, or you just leave the. Well, they have multiple ships, they can defend themselves. Till Battle 7 arrives, and then they're going to have to figure out where the fuck City 7 just jumped again. So God hope that Giggle dropped another rock on his way in.
Yeah.
That's my thoughts, anyway. I'm
Yeah,
guessing,
it's a bit of a mess right now.
yeah, making sense, I guess, is the only thing I can jump on you with. Some of this shit just don't make sense to me, or not to a satisfactory degree. But I still love the songs. Let's jump into it.
But before we get started,
Make sure that you hit the like button.
Hit that subscribe button.
Comment down below to feed that algorithm.
on top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this,
Unfiltered.
Uncensored.
And uncut.
as well as some early access stuff,
You can check it out over on the Patreon.
It's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure.
There's zero pressure in order to do that. It's just a little bit of extra support, and it would be greatly appreciated.
As always, I looked away again when the guitar happened.
It does look like there's some buildings that are jutting out of the side. At the not the one he's standing on, but
No,
like
I know.
at the bottom.
I brought that up last
Yeah.
time. That they're actually
Yeah.
built in, but it's the weird
Yeah.
perspective pullback that makes it look like they're jutting out sideways. But who's to guess? This place also just has a whole wrecked portion of the city. And they've never been
It,
attacked before.
it also has artificial gravity, so who's to say that when you're there, you're orientated to the wall and it doesn't matter.
I think I also discussed that where I thought maybe it was like a bowl thing and that the gravity came
Yeah.
like that, but it's obviously not because it's a hill and then it goes back again to the regular. So it's just a hill. I think there's just buildings built into a hill. I also love how Kaepernick is like looming in the opening, and I think they've never gotten up from their chair.
Oh, they look like they're just looking, and then maybe the arms are the ones that are theirs, I guess.
I don't know.
I'm using they them pronouns because they refer to
Kaepernick's a guy.
Okay,
They say
they
Kaepernick.
refer
No,
as a
there's
guy, but
in the subtitles. The subtitles
yeah,
when
it's
we
a guy.
first see, yeah, it says. I told you this
But
before. Weirdly, the subtitles say, "Oh my God, Kaepernick is a guy." Like the subtitles
Yeah.
are confused about it.
yeah, there you go, you magic rock.
Fucking hate it. It's like the Beltrati, or whatever the hell they're called.
ゴールドエネルギーが増大してるですって。
ちょっと暴れさせてもらおうと思いましてね。
You remember before Basara said that the kimono thing didn't look good to go wild in, and now they're asking permission to go wild. Didn't stop it, by the way. They folded after that. Which that might
But
mean that
where-
they're in random, like Lost in Space now.
Yeah.
またまた突然のフォールドでしたが、市民たちは事の重大さを
And they
認識
fixed
して
it.
いないようです。
Oh, they're trying to fix it, I suppose.
I think they did fix it. We don't see any punch damage.
全く取れません。今我々がどこにいるのか座標軸を割り出していますが、何しろ空間に乱れが生じまして作業が難航してい
Oh,
ます。
please be a supervision army ship. Let that pay off some point.
フォールドシステムの修復の方は。
こちらも急いでいます。
たく熱気バサラでしたか。コンピューターを殴り壊すとは。
Nope, we're letting them get away with zero consequence, as we have from the
あの時
beginning.
は緊急事態でした。一概に彼を責めるわけにもいきません。
No, please, discriminately blame him, though. What hot drink would you have with a
こいつが
burger?
フォールドを妨害したスピリチュア異常コード2の正体か。
Where are they now?
今後の作戦に対する影響の可能性は
They must have a base in City 7 somewhere.
変化は
ホールドシステムの修復率推定 20%。
フォールドシステム修復後奪回する襲撃準備。別動班スピリチュア異常コード2を捜索見つけ次第抹殺。
Okay. I do appreciate that the commander of the big bads
いつ
is a guy we can't see his face.
どこで
マクロスシティ5番街にあるシルバーパラダイスというところだ。
シルバーパラダイス聞いたことないな。新しくできたライブハウスか。
さあな。ところで演奏メニューを出してみ
How
た。
many Macross cities do you think there are in this universe?
Probably just the name of the city of any Macross ship will have a Macross in.
I mean, it's gonna be like the Alexandria of the past,
Yeah.
right?
あっちか。
I mean, yeah, but it's just, I guess it's Macross 7, so there's more than one.
Yeah, but you have Macross City back on Earth, or Macross City on Eden.
いいじゃないのよ、何のおかげだってヒットして嬉しくないわけ。
順位が上がりゃいいってもんじゃないんだよ。
Because this seems like a good conversation to have right now.
相変わらず分かってる
You, the people who know you're actively being
分かっ
kidnapped.
てないのあんたでしょ。なんで素直に喜べないのよ。ひねくれ者、ひねくれ者、ひねくれ者。もう知らない。
ったくもう何しに来たんだあいつは。ひでえよ。なんで1週間後のライブが急に今日になっちまうんだよ。
とにかく急いでいるらしい。
I'm sorry, we're still scheduling concerts too?
都合があるんだ。
Is there
I
like
guess
no
so.
martial law situation happening right now?
ライブをやるからにはよ。
まあ
We're actively been kidnapped.
今度の仕事は
The infiltrators that have been putting people in the coma all this time are
いい加減に
well known
Yeah,
on the
large.
ship. Yeah.
するやつ
They actively took control of the communication system at one
雇
point.
いたいのは山々だがな。払うギャラがない。
そういうこと。今は私たちだけで頑張らなきゃ。
ガキが生言うんじゃないの。
何よ、そうでしょ。今はがむしゃらに
If it
やるしか
wasn't for
ない
the
んだから。
intro showing us everything that's happened so far, I would think this was out of order.
呼ばれてはいはい言って
Yeah.
簡単にできるもんじゃねえんだよ。
悪条件でもいい仕事をする。それがファイヤーボンバーでしょ。
まあ仕事があるだけありがたいと思え。
そうそう。仕事があるだけありがた
I
いと思う
mean, this feels like, okay, it makes sense for them to keep working because they're a band,
見えたぞ。
but the timing just seems weird, right?
Hey, you remember how the infiltrators are attracted to us because we raised the spiritual levels of things and
Yeah.
they actively attacked us at the last concert we did?
Oh, it's an old home folks.
病院みたい。
Old home folks, yes, that's indeed what it is.
Which they it makes sense because they remember Lim and May. You know, they might have been around.
特に
Yeah,
退
at the
役
time.
軍人が多いらしい。
Literally, your music rejuvenates people. The old people are the one group you shouldn't be discriminating against.
ここが知ってたなレイ。
まあいいじゃないか。
Ray, not Ray. Basara is ageist.
年寄りだろうと若者だろうと嬉しいことだ。
I mean, he's a jackass.
俺は別に
So
嫌だ
that's
なん
just
て
no
言って
problem.
ねえぜ。かあ燃えてやるぜ。
You're heavily implying you don't want to do it.
テレビで人民名物語見ましたよ。よかった。可愛かった。
ありがとうございます。
お願いがあるんだが、一緒に写真を撮っていただけ
I
る
would love it if these people were somebody that we knew.
マネージャーの兄ちゃん、頼みますよ。
Like the old Centrati spies or something.
ほんじゃ行くぜ。
He's
What if that was, what's their name's brother from Macross Zero? You know,
again, this is
Roy's
very 90s.
girlfriend's, Roy's
Yeah.
girlfriend's brother.
Yeah.
これはな、35年前、銀民名
Ah, somebody I have no fuck idea who this is.
Yeah.
わしの宝じゃ。
Oh, you were right. She's taking pictures with everybody.
Yeah, but it's
She
not in
was
front of the
taking pictures.
fountain.
Yeah.
The fountain is where I wanted her to take pictures with everyone.
Oh, there Flower Girl again.
Maybe she's the harbinger of death. You gotta admit, she does show up everywhere they attack.
時代を超えて若い人、年寄り、男女の性別を超えて永遠に残り、歌い継がれていくものです。俺たちファイヤーボンバーのサウンドもそうありたいと思っています。じっちゃん、ばあちゃん、行くぜ、プラネットダンス。
You almost won me over. I thought you were gonna play like a classic, something from
Yeah.
SDF Macross, which really wouldn't fit in your music style, but
Oh, the old folks like it.
well, at this point, I'm feeling the same way that I felt about Lin Min Mei, which is you've got like 5 songs. Battle 7.
そうか。あと一歩のところで。申し訳ありませ
So
ん
they
で
did
した。
catch up with these guys.
いや、君たちダイヤモンドフォースの責任ではない。はあ。報告ご苦労だった。
He's saluting it pretty high, by the way. Should be right here, not right here.
Well, he's also saluted multiple times in the scene.
今のところは。
Yeah.
We came in and he was saluting,
今は
and he saluted again.
無事を祈るしかないな。はい。
That's what I was saying. Gamlin has to already know that she knows Basara because they were in a friggin' movie together.
Yeah. No, he's not happy.
陰民名を乗せた光のバルキリーは突然敵の真っ只中に
ガムリン注意。ホールドブースターの再調整の依頼をしてまいりました。注意。
Their uniforms are pretty elaborate, you know. In this series, they really went hard on their uniforms.
It kind of
With the
reminds me
ribbons
of the Zentradi male officer uniforms that we saw when they went back, and it was like this red regalia sort of thing.
例えば、ある女性がロックグループの歌手だったとする。だが、それを付き合っていた男に隠していた。それはどうしてだと思う？
はあ、自分にはよくわかりませんが、おそらくその女性は
Probably because he has the hairstyle of Ebenezer Scrooge.
女性というものは愛する相手ならば、
愛する相手ならば、
何事も包み隠さず報告する。そう書物で読んだことがありますが。
Homewrecker, you.
いえ、自分はよくわかりませんが、
What?
確か書物に。
I don't think you used that right.
No, but I see. I mean,
that would be
basically, I'm saying Homewrecker.
if Fizzy was saying that because he was hitting on Mylene to steal her away from Gamlin, that would be a homewrecker situation. That makes no sense, the context you just said.
女性の音楽仲間にハレンチな奴がいたとする。彼女はそれが恥ずかしいので、男にそのグループに属しているとは言えなかった。男に好意を抱いているがゆえに、自分の後ろめたい部分を隠したい。
At least now we know the lies that they're all telling each other.
さすがガムリン注意。女性に対しての洞察力が鋭いですね。
No, he is not.
だが、それは嘘をつかれた俺の、いや、
Oh, at least he's smart enough to know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
しかないのかもしれない。
失礼いたします。
I appreciate that they're like thinking out loud, basically. It's not like Hikaru just like staring off in the distance and then does something strange.
Oh, he has feelings for her, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, I mean he wouldn't be investigating this shit so constantly. By the way, the episode's named after her, and more than half the episode hasn't had her in it.
Yeah. Oh hey, he's awake.
I mean, they're constantly playing their song all over the place. You'd have to hear it at some point. Well, see, there you go. Oh, do you think they're not getting credit for this because they think it's the Lin Min Mei thing?
Yeah, probably. Okay, come to my room tonight.
See, now you could say homewrecker, and that would probably work.
Yeah, come to my place tonight. I'll tell you everything. M07. I guess he just sleeps in that thing as well.
Yeah, I thought for a moment we were going to get some insight into what Fulmo knows. Like he was thinking about something. I've been playing them Lin Min Mei stuff, not because it helps. I'm just obsessed. Do you think he's the little kid from SDF Macross? He'd be old enough, right?
When I saw this in the previews, I thought he was going to get tortured.
Maybe. Maybe. So the doctor has invented a spiritual detector.
Okay, this just got so weird, and I'm not comfortable with this. I am as comfortable as Gimling is.
Well, he just invented a spiritual detector, apropos of nothing. What is Lin Min Mei?
It's a woman. So he was investigating the whole thing individually because he's an obsessed fan with Lin Min Mei.
Oh yeah, it didn't sound like he loves the song though, doesn't it?
Why would you think this guy will react possibly to any of this? I mean, this is so bizarre.
See, the problem you're having is one thing. My problem is that he's invented a spiritual detector without even knowing the spiritual exists or what all the bad guys are doing.
I guess.
Well, it's a major plot point. Like, this is going to come up
Yeah, I know,
later.
but no, it's so okay. This is just way dumb. In the I don't like it kind of dumb.
For me, it's like the scientist who came up with a pinpoint barrier without having the fold system radiation, at least there to... This is what I did, and I figured out how to use it. This guy is just like...
But something useful.
This guy is like, I'm a threat. Well, no, I'm just saying that made sense. I have this background radiation shit. I figured out how to use it to make a shield. This guy's like, I've got a bunch of people in a coma. I'm a fan of Lin Min Mei. Let me tell you about the big thing the bad guys are doing. Makes no sense. That guy's a gun. Okay. Say, that kid's got a gun. Oh, this is... There's about 8 minutes left in this episode for Milia to do something like a fighting, like a fight.
Yeah.
I'm just. Me and Justin recently watched an episode of Gundam Seed where the next time on featured two people having a shootout on a beach. The episode we watched it in, it was the last 30 seconds of the episode that the shootout on the beach happened. I feel like that's what Hitler here. Sorry, I had just noticed.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what's being pointed out to us.
ファイヤーボンバーのプラネットダンスです。
こいつ何も分かっちゃいねえ。え、何か違いましたか？大違いだ。お前の考えてることは。俺は降りるぜ。あ、そんな。何？俺を。やつらよ。
Oh yeah, right. I forgot they didn't leave the ship. Now to put a bunch of kids' lives in danger.
Oh, he's flying away, so.
Hi, みんな、元気かな？元気？
元気。
いい音楽ってのはね、じいちゃん、ばあちゃん、可愛い赤ちゃん、男の子も女の子も関係なくみんながノリノリになれるものなんだ。
Dude, you should just fly away from wherever the kids are because.
By the way, that "let's go" thing where the camera goes in close to his face is basically the Hikaru.
Yeah. And there she is again.
It's a harbinger of doom, I told you. It's either that or she's the creepiest fan ever, buying tickets no matter where they're at. I want a ticket to the Grandpa and Grandma Silver Paradise thing. I want a ticket to the Children's Festival. You better get there. You better get there. You have 3 minutes left to interact with the story your episode is named after. Also, we know he wasn't going to shoot back.
Yeah.
We just passed the 20-minute mark, by the way. She hasn't gotten involved.
Well, the property damage is going to be off the roof, that's for sure.
Off the roof.
Okay, you were. Why would. You just could have shot them. You were right behind them.
Let me teach you how to pilot. I'm sorry, why did you become a bad pilot all of a sudden? You who was dodging shots just earlier. I guess every series has filler somewhere.
Yeah.
"21 minutes, 30 seconds till she fires a shot." Which is almost literally a minute after she showed up. So that's the part I care about right now.
子供たちは無事だったかしら。
ああ、多分。
Sorry, did he just die? The other guy?
Apparently.
He shot her in the leg and then died? Hope you're fine with your leg wound. The name of the episode was what again? Just fill me in on that one.
Let me Fighting Woman Mayor Milia.
A minute and a half. Just a little over a minute and a half. She was there to fight. And then she got shot in the leg. And that's it.
Nani?
Also, it went like right through her leg. So,
yeah.
Clean wound, but bleeding out. And Basara's like,
oh, you okay? Fine, yeah.
I'm gonna fuck off now. Hope you're fine. I think the police are probably the best people to handle injury. Oh, no, wait, that's the other guys. That's the EMTs. God, I wish somebody had called them.
I mean, somebody has to secure the area, but still.
Well, yeah, I just mean, you know, you've got the flying device that maybe she could, you know, catch a ride on. You've held people with your hand before.
These episodes, like, oh, hey, they're going to do the stealing of the ship. That's great. And then...
Yeah. I mean, I hate to say it. I mean, I'm giving it the benefit of the doubt for so long, but the last few episodes have been bad.
Because originally when I saw the intro, I thought that they had captured Gambling and they were torturing or something.
I feel like we're not even handling the fact that City 7 is just lost in space.
Yeah.
I'll appreciate the fact that they brought back the nuke launcher mechs.
Yeah.
Whatever the hell they're called.
I mean, they're the monsters. The big one with the 4 cannons. Yeah, that's a monster.
Well, I mean, I call them the nuke launchers because from Cross Zero they were doing that because they were on the aircraft carriers and the little slit things that they couldn't move in. They just
Yeah, but they're not the same.
I don't care. If they look the same, they're the same for me. They're all Valkyries or the Y. The only reason I call the YF-19 a YF-19 is because it's got the backward swoop to it, which makes it physically distinct.
Forward swim.
Look, you know what I mean? So long as I know that you know what I mean, I don't really care. I'm not the tech spec guy. I think I said that. So long as they look the same, we've gone. How many years have we gone? We're in what, 2045 now?
Yeah.
From 2001?
I mean, they're all the ground mech are called Destroids. So
2008. So what, 37 years? We've gone 37 years now. Of course, a bunch of these have gotten new model designs and whatever, but they're all based on a thing. So long as I know what the original one is, or one of the models in the many redesigns, I'm fine just calling it that. I'm not like... Maybe if this was like a video game, like a really good video game, and I could like specify which like models of planes that I wanted to play, and I was like really in depth on it. You know, kind of like the Mech Warrior Online stuff, where every model there is like 100 variations, and you can like do whatever you want to the variations, and then do different layouts and things like that. If it was like that, I would care more because I would be invested, right? I don't have any personal investment in what style of plane is being thrown out there, other than the fact that maybe like if like Hikaru's original. Ace Combat models. No, that's not what you said. What did you say?
Ace Customs.
Ace Customs. I have more, weigh in because those are like the hero versions. So, Hikaru's plane shows up or Roy's plane shows up. I'll be like, oh, that's that thing. I'll be like, that'll be different. These things.
I mean, Milia is an Ace Custom.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, because it's visually different. It's visually distinct from everything else. Sort of. The fact that they've given it the same coloration to Pisara's, so that when they're in what do you call them? I want to say
Ace costume.
grappler mode. No,
No, Gearwalk.
Gearwalk. When they're in Gearwalk mode, besides the white line across the top of it, they don't look that different.
Hey,
Yeah.
also that was bizarre. It's like, oh, change to Gearwalk. No, suddenly he can't fly the thing. He's been doing it before.
Yeah.
Flu-
But
I don't know what.
having them
I don't
side
know
by
what the hell.
side though is putting two red Gearwalk modes
Yeah,
next to each other,
yeah.
which removes almost the distinction between them. Again, except for hers has a little bit of white on it. I think his is bigger too.
Yeah. Also, she was right behind these guys, moved between them to get to side with Basaris. Just shoot the assholes, destroy them, and that's it. You were in a perfect position to kill them both.
Yeah,
You're an ace pilot.
Fighting is the least that she did this episode.
Yes,
a little over a
this is
minute and a half on an episode named after what you would expect her to do. And that's the least amount she does. Like, why did you name the episode about it? You could have called it literally, God, I've forgotten everybody's fucking name all of a sudden. The guy, oh god, where are you on my little chart here? You could have called it Gamlin's Jealousy. There was more of it in the episode. Or, Dr. Chiba's Obsession would have even been good.
Also, I was with the episode like, okay, so they're doing the concerts. I guess I mean that's what they do. I mean they're not part of the military. They don't know how to fix things, so might as well just do the thing you do, right? Do the concert. Okay, got it. The moment the door opens and the Toshiba is dressed like he is with all the posters, and then grabs him and puts him in that chair, I'm like, what the what?
I don't have a problem with Chiba being a fanatic, right? It's not like Min May's around to be obsessed, to be a problem with. The throwing him in the chair thing, yeah, that's bad. He straps him down. It's literally against his own will. Again, more of my problem with the Chiba thing is that he made a spiritual detector. They haven't even heard
really?
Yeah, he described exactly what their thing is, and you see no, you don't see the visualization. That was something on the bridge later. He's basically said, I put numbers to emotions. And that's literally what the spiritual detector thing is for. You know it's going to come in later, that we've got this thing now that does exactly what your thing does. No one's said the word spiritual. No one's brought up the fact that they're draining emotions out of us to put us in a coma state. Dr. Chiba doesn't say, this is a thing that they've done. I played the music. I've done tests. Now I've done this thing. No, he's just obsessed with Lin Min May. It's all happenstance. I don't like happenstance when we've got an active plot. Also, to what you said,
no, worse than happenstance. It's contrivance because they're creating a situation. It was like, oh, this guy just happens to be obsessed with Lin Min May, and he just happens to have the situation. So when later on they're like, hey, Dr. Shiba, can you help with this? Like, all right, that feels like my research, right? That's what they're doing. And it's one of those things where you're doing foreshadowing wrong. You're doing it wrong.
Did you ever see the movie Awakenings?
Nope.
God, I can't remember his name. He, Goodfellas. He was in Goodfellas. He also did a whole thing down in New York, talking about Trump, how bad Trump is and everything. Robert De Niro. Robert De Niro. Yeah, he's the coma patient in Awakenings. And in Awakenings, they do tests on the coma patients. Like, they play music for them, sit them down in front of movies, try and gauge if there's any reaction to them. The kind of shit that I would think Dr. Chiba would be doing. But, no, everybody gets a little bit of this Lin Min May movie because I just love Lin Min May.
Yeah.
He's not testing anybody about what it is. It's not. They just all started waking up, kind of. Just assume it's a thing. I'm a really bad doctor.
It's like, oh, well, the music seems to be helping. Okay, are you testing that? Because if you're testing that, cool. But he's and the way he puts it, like, oh no, yeah, I have this theory. Come back to my quarters at night, and I'll tell you what it is. Like, yeah, and you know, if you show him, okay, this patient did this. By the way, why show Gemlin? Well, I guess he's the ranking military officer. No, he's not, because
I think they're
They're
showing
back at-
Gamlin because he doesn't want to show anybody else because he says, I want to get the Nobel Prize for this. So he's like, I don't want anyone to steal my information. By the way, I'm in deep space, lost in space, in fact. I don't think anyone's getting it unless you're very
No, no,
suspecting of.
no. I think Gamlin. No, that's the thing. Chiba and Gamlin, they're not in City 7.
Oh, that's right. They're Battle 7.
They're in Battle 7. So it's like you have superiors. You have like a commander who is investigating this. Hey,
I mean, that's a running trope so far of people not telling people stuff. Fulmo thought he recognized these guys, the enemies, the first time he saw them. Hasn't said anything for the next 13 episodes. In fact, he's asleep on the bridge. I thought he was going to say something. I mistook his being asleep for thinking about stuff.
Yeah, I'm getting a vibe of like, this is getting Battlestar Galactica, the reimagined series vibes, where you like, wow, they have this mystery, they're doing this great, and all of a sudden they're like, can we tell you that we don't know what we're doing and we're just making it up as we go along? Yeah.
Well, you said, oh, I'm not surprised they're having gigs and everything. They're out doing this shit and they're trapped or whatever. It's like, no, the whole city should be on like martial law. Everyone should be like stuck in their house because we know the infiltrators are fucking here. They wanted to kidnap a bunch of people because we just stopped them from abducting everybody in a cargo container. We know that they've been putting people into comas. Literally, our mayor is the one who's been pushing the military to do something about this fucking thing that's happening, and now she's the only one in charge. So you'd suspect she'd be pushing for do something. Now let everybody out there. Hey, the kid's gonna have a big old party out in the middle. Let's let everybody out and do whatever the fuck they want.
When I say it makes sense for Firebomber to do their thing, it doesn't make sense to them to be allowed to do that by Milia and the rest. It's like, what the hell are you doing in the street? Get back to your shelter or whatever, your home. Stay there until we fix this shit, right? You know.
Can a civil authority declare martial law?
Of course, it's the civil law.
No, martial law is a military thing. What's the equivalent?
Civil authority can order the military to what martial law is essentially is the civil, whoever happens to be the government, military or civilian, declares that they're going to use military force to enforce the law. That's literally what I'm saying, but law means.
They're not I'm saying the only representative of authority we have here on City 7 is Milia, who represents the civilian government.
Police.
Yeah, but
she has police.
Yeah, but the police aren't military.
I guess they could do a curfew.
Yeah, they could do a lockdown.
Lockdown curfew. It wouldn't literally be martial law because they don't have enough military force to enforce.
Well, that's what I was saying. Was the civilian version of a martial law? Yeah. And I guess that's
be a lockdown,
enforced lockdown, or can't think of all the times the hurricanes come through here. Whatever they've said. No, that's a forced evacuation.
It's the same thing, basically.
Couldn't really do that wherever they go.
Yeah.
I don't know. It does not feel. It feels like all the complaints from SDF Macross where we ever said it doesn't feel like they were taking this seriously or they thought about it at all. Because now we went from a very serious, oh no, they've stolen City 7. Now we're lost in space. We don't know where we're at. We're trying to figure that out. Battle 7 doesn't know where they're at. They're trying to figure that out. And I'm assuming they're at the last place that City 7 jumped from. And we've already introduced the concept of fold waves, which implies that if they got there fast enough, they might have been able to figure that out. But they didn't talk about it in this episode. We don't feel like we're taking it serious anymore, and the next episode isn't focused on anything important. Like, how many infiltrators are there even?
I think we get quite a bit of them.
We're doing the Voyager shuttle thing with infiltrators. Again. Or, we talked about the Valkyries, SDF Macross. There's just an infinite number of them all the time, whenever.
Anyway, I go.
All right. Well, we have been Stoneface Reactions. I'm Theta. This is Lessons. We'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stoneface Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe and let us know what you thought about this video and what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?